All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto nerds of all ages, you know what time it is. It's time for Monty Allen, as your crypto nerd, to have an interview. This time we're talking to Alty. Stay tuned. All right, here we go. So, welcome to the show, Liran. I want to introduce you and get the audience familiar with the Alty platform, the chat bot, the payments integration. We've seen some demos in the Algorand community, but I'm hoping before we kind of dive into this, you can give us a little background on yourself and the company, and then we can dive into some questions.
Yeah, sure, and thanks for having me. So, Alty started 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, on the island of Barbados, where I met Gabriel Abed, one of the first people to run a CBDC project, a central bank digital currency technology. He had at the time and still today a very vibrant community of creators, early adapters, and we saw the need together to create some utility over all those communities that can be manifested through the chats. We always communicate through the chatbots, and we saw an opportunity to bring, basically to connect the blockchain and all the utilities that it started to bring in to the chat platforms. And this is how Alty was created.
Well, it's such a simple idea, and there was definitely a need for it, right? So let me ask you, what platforms can somebody use Alty on right now?
Yeah, so right now, Telegram and WhatsApp. We have the chatbots running there, making a utility, basically a wallet utility for everybody to use. It takes a second to create your own wallet. Since everything is known, you have a phone number connection. We run basically a custodian wallet, letting later on the opportunity to connect it with your own private key wallet through what we call the member console. Maybe I will take a step backward and say that Alty is a platform, is an ecosystem. It has a chatbot which makes everybody's life easy to onboard and to do certain transactions. Like you could tip someone in a WhatsApp group with Algorand or USDT running over the Algorand chain, or you can even have your own FIO address, basically allowing anyone to send you tokens and coins to to your own name at Alty. So many features that the chatbot brings
Oh, I
in.
didn't even realize that. So I could get KryptoNurd at Alty or KryptoNurd.alty or something along those lines. So it's
Exactly, and people
excellent.
could send you a variety of tokens and coins,
Mm-hmm.
all into your address, and that's exactly what we're trying to do: make things simple, manifest it through the chats. That's part and a big component of the whole ecosystem. The other part is the community management dashboard and the member console, allowing more insights, reports, and let's say a heavier type or a more complex type of engagement between administrators or community owners or influencers, however you want to define it, and the members. Basically, enhancing the experience of the members by giving them all those wallet utilities and some information utilities as well.
Where could somebody go before we get too much further? What's
Yeah.
the website? Where could they sign up for Alty?
So alty.com, you could see the two logos for WhatsApp and Telegram and just onboard yourself on the bot as a simple user, everything for free. And again, for free, you can, if you are an admin or you have even your own small crypto group advising your friends or discussing whatever projects, you could take advantage of the web app, what we call the community management dashboard. Uh, Basically, put in the invite link of Telegram or WhatsApp groups that you manage, and start enhancing your group with all the automation Alty is offering.
I think that's great. So a lot of folks in the U.S. don't realize how often WhatsApp is used internationally. In the crypto community, we have a lot of Telegram groups. I notice in my circle, a lot of crypto companies, they will start off by having a Telegram group, but they use it typically for communication, like almost like announcements and almost as a an initial like community organizer, something along those lines. But WhatsApp is actually used a lot of times even for business purposes, or families will have a group WhatsApp, international. Do you find that people are using this to trade, services? Is there business being handled through Alty at all? Or is it strictly, person to person, family to family, maybe somebody sending, cross-border payments back home, something like that?
Yeah, so just now we're starting to have commercial use cases. Up to now, it was more community engagements, managing bounties, rewarding people. So you could call it a small commercials activity, but there are wide abilities here for different sectors, not even only the blockchain industry, to use it to manage their channels. And the vision go not only around WhatsApp and Telegram, but of course all those channels. Right now we already have Discord on the pipeline, and we're hoping to be a real multi-platform automation system.
I'm going to bring up the website here so people can take a look at it. So we've got it up here, and it's got very prominently on there the add Telegram, add to WhatsApp. So easy integration is kind of a key feature that you have. You want people the easier to use it is, the more adoption you're going to get, right?
Exactly.
So I've taken a look at some of the interface, and it is indeed really super easy to use. And those numbers, I think, are reflected in the number of users that you have there. So am I reading this correctly? A little over 1.6 million users?
Yeah, that's actually an old update, something that need to be fixed. We have much more. Now we are on the round of 3.2 million.
Oh, wow. So doubled since the last time the website got updated, huh? You've been too busy.
Yeah, that's been building for the last 6 months. A lot of new groups are adding the bot, and a lot of new members are finding the wallet. Again, one simple solution for them to have a few tokens all controlled under their phone number. It's creating a lot of buzz.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've definitely heard about it myself. Now, it did say there that there was an average of 6 transactions per day per user. Is that number holding up?
That's something we're working on right now. No, because we have a lot of new members, there are a process of educating or getting them engaged with the tool itself. That's something we're working on through the admins, letting some of the value we have or the community, any specific community, want to drive down to the members. We let them use the wallets, get rewards, and get into the bounties, get more engaged, and both the members and the admins see the results, and this is what takes the transaction count up. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in almost every startup that I've spoken with, there's always been, an unexpected use that's kind of come about. Did anything surprise you about how people were using Alty once it started, once it got out into the wild and these 3.2 million people started using it? Was there anything unexpected that was a pleasant surprise for you?
Yeah, I would say one of the first one to realize it was an organization trying to collect some donations, and the FIO address really matched their needs because they wanted people to do it to get the easy way in without too complex, and then through other wallets, not only Alty, other wallets supporting the FIO protocol, anybody could send to the name. So that was a surprising one. We have a lot of other verticals that always coming in and asking what they can do with us. The travel industry, for example, for booking flight tickets or your vacations using the chats and bouncing between a human support and the automation and a payment system. So the use cases are really plentiful.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. The travel industry, in particular. So, let me ask you. So, when somebody uses Alty, a lot of the crypto world is concerned about anonymity and personal information. How have you addressed this with Alty? What information is transferred if I make a payment to someone? And has anybody, shown any concerns for that? How much info is there?
Yeah, so right now it's quite centralized, but the whole vision of Alti is basically to bring back the power to the same influencers, community managers, or the community itself. Again, depends on how people want to run it. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, each one of us communicating through those secure chats, supposedly secure, like WhatsApp and Telegram,
Sure.
decide for himself what to expose. Most of the engagement and tools we built are for groups. So, for example, the payments will always be restricted. Nobody beside you will know about the transactions that you make. And of course, when you connect it, we have through MetaMask or my Algo wallet soon the ability to connect it to your own wallet, so you can be even more discreet. But
Mm-hmm.
bottom line, the logic behind exactly where the data and who has access to the data, Alti will decentralize and put in nodes where the community can decide to run their own chatbots and what type of access they want to give to the chatbots.
Mm-hmm.
And you, as a user, as a member, would have to choose your influencer and your community based on what they can offer. And that's the long-term vision for Alti, to take it
Excellent.
one step forward. Because there are so
Okay.
many channels and so many um, options for businesses basically to deliver all this information and utilities from one hand, and from the other hand, the members are always locked inside those without any ability to say something. And we're
Mm-hmm.
hoping by decentralizing the whole system, people will have more chance to maneuver. Companies like Facebook and the big guys will still be in the picture, but they won't have that power to lock any certain business or influencer that easily, because those guys will have other channels in place.
Right. Okay. So your business is growing, obviously 1.6 million to 3.2 million. You're expanding the services and the audience as well. So you recently found Algorand. Walk me through that process. How did you find the Algorand blockchain? What about this community kind of drew you in, and you decided, hey, this is a need for this community, and there's a business opportunity here as well. Can you walk me through that process?
Yeah, so we were ready with the wallet on WhatsApp more than a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
year and a half ago actually. It was
Mm-hmm.
already running, but the Ethereum fees, of course, killed the business. The whole
Yeah.
idea is for someone to just send 50 cents or $5 to somebody that gave him a good advice over the chat, or that exchange any goods or whatever the community engagement is. And it couldn't happen over the Ethereum chain. And
Yeah.
when we checked our options, Algorand was basically the best one to integrate.
Mm-hmm.
The USDT and the Algo alone are good assets for any community to adopt and use it as their own currencies to start with.
Mm-hmm.
So we jumped right in, and later on we got another boost by Borderless investing in us together with a few other investors. So that
Right.
took us to the next level, where we are now expanding the teams and bringing all this outside.
I think something happens when you get Borderless, that name attached. Borderless has their own ecosystem, so instantaneously you're like part of almost like a family
Yeah.
of companies that you can collaborate with, and it makes it much easier. Um, besides Borderless and some of those other companies, I mean, have you had communication with Algorand developers or the technology company directly? Have you received any assistance or direction from them? I'm just curious if there was communication.
There is some on the technical team levels,
Mm-hmm.
and for sure we are just now starting to get to know this ecosystem. We're going to be in Miami, probably the event by the end of the month.
Oh,
So
excellent.
yeah, making a lot of contacts, and as you say, with Borderless and the whole ecosystem,
Mm-hmm.
it's just amazing. Every day a new project is popping up.
Yeah. So Decipher, you just brought up Decipher. I'll be
Yeah.
there as well on November 29th and 30th. I think my team arrives a day early, and there's a whole lot going on there, a few days before and several days after. Do you have any particular agenda for your time at Decipher? Any missions you need to accomplish? Any folks you need to meet?
Yeah.
What message do you want to get out
So
there?
yeah, so we have Patrick. He's our COO, and actually I wanted to bring him in. He's traveling at the moment. He will be the one managing the whole event over there for Alty.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Samir Vandali, he's our business development guy,
Okay.
might be able to reach there as well. I personally won't be there, but they will know more about the agenda. Right now, the main item we want to bring on is the listing of tokens,
Mm.
basically giving all the algo assets in the ecosystem ability to come on the Alty wallet and make the life of their community easier by integrating the tokens into the, the Alty wallet.
Excellent. So you're saying all of the ASAs, Opulus, YLDY,
Yeah,
Smile,
yeah, yeah,
Headline, all of these, you'll
yeah,
be able to integrate. Will somebody, will those projects have to reach out to you? Will you automatically integrate some of them as they come online if they reach a certain, I don't
yeah.
know, market cap
So
or threshold or something?
we want to give the ability, like we do with the ERC token already. Anyone can tip any ERC token over WhatsApp and Telegram using the Alty and Bitcoin and Ethereum and Fire. So the
Mm-hmm.
same ability we want to bring for all the Algorand assets. And there will be probably some packages because it's not only the listing, we can offer much more. For example, if you have your own community, of course, you want to run the token and have tipping with your own token and even staking. We have what we call the staking wall. If
Mm-hmm.
you have your own community, you can lock it behind your own token or any ASA you want, and the bot will kick out automatically any person that doesn't have your own token or the community token. Uh,
Oh,
so we
okay.
connect, so we connect it to some utilities like that.
So you're telling me if I start my own nerd token and my own Telegram group,
Yeah,
only I can verify using the Alty bot that only holders of the nerd token could enter the Telegram group.
exactly, exactly. And
Wow.
you can even give them a grace period, to get to be, for example, to do something good in the group, and they get some nerd tokens, and
Okay.
then they have the chance to stay. And if they didn't, the bot will notify them, and after a while, we just kick them out of the group. So that's exactly the example of how we see the connection, between the
Mm-hmm.
blockchain and the chats. And we want to bring it to all the tokens, not only for a specific
Mm-hmm.
small group. That's
Okay.
that's the vision.
Okay. Interesting. So is that use case is that in the near future? Or that's not active now, right? The
So
ASA function.
it's active with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the ERC tokens, and it's in the near future. I don't want to commit for time. Because we are about to publish a roadmap, but yeah, I would say give or take first quarter of 2022 is.
Okay. All right, that's
More,
not too far off.
yeah.
Since you brought
Mhm.
up the roadmap,
Yeah.
let's talk about that for just a second. And I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire on any dates here, but let's
Yeah.
just say a couple of years down the road. Where could you see this evolving to? What's the big picture? What could this grow into?
What we just spoke about, decentralizing the logic of where the information is being kept and what type of information you as a member really want to expose and where. This should move from the hands of the big guys, or at least have more representation on the community side. That's what we believe. Everything is becoming automatic. Everything is moving to the cell phones, the smartphones. Those directions are obvious. The engagement is happening on the big platforms, WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, all of those things that will keep popping and keep running on many, many different ways, but with the same idea behind them. So this is the junctions Alty is already in and intending to be a big player.
Okay, great. So what about other chat groups or platforms like a Discord, or you mentioned Facebook earlier. So if somebody sent me a message back and forth through Facebook, could I publish this address somewhere? What other platforms do you think this will move to eventually, or do you just want to focus in on WhatsApp and Telegram?
No, definitely not focusing only on those two. Our roadmap consists of a tech, a capability, and a platform. So every release, we release three of those, meaning a tech would be another advanced feature for the payment system across the whole Alty wallets. Capability will be features like tipping and so on. And the channel will be some kind of social media channel, probably all the chat platforms to start with, but that go behind even chat platforms. Right now, Discord and Signal are the next on the roadmap. And Twitter with some legal constraints and some preparation on our side probably will be the third one to be integrated.
Okay. What about subscriptions? A lot of folks have asked me about, hey, how come KryptoNurd doesn't have a subscription-based model for, additional content? And it's something myself and a lot of content creators have thought about. Can somebody set up a subscription-based model in a Telegram room, or, in the future in a Discord or Signal or something like that?
Definitely. That's one of the most obvious use cases. And the staking wall was the first, a step in this direction, because it can take a different direction when you have your own token or you want to receive crypto in from different sources. But yeah, that's again part of the community management. That's exactly it.
Okay. And everybody always asks, so what about onboarding and offboarding, deposits and withdrawals? How does that work? If somebody tips you, a significant amount or something, or it accumulates, how would you withdraw that and put it into your own wallet or your offline wallet?
Yeah, so this is something we're gonna already release by next week. So I'm happy you brought up this question. We have what we call the member console. Even before, you could right now just send it to any exchange or any wallet from your own chat wallet. You just flow the instruction and chat with the chatbot and give your address and receive all your money there. There are two-factor SMS verification on larger amounts, just to verify that it's really you on the phone. But right now, probably by next week already, the member console will let you connect. It's basically a web app. You use it on the browser, and it lets you connect my Algo wallet and have all those tips and everything that's coming into the hot wallet to the Alty being downloaded, being withdrawn automatically to your My Algo wallet. This web app is accessible through your email or through your MetaMask. You set up your Algo wallet one time, and the automation will just take everything from there to your own wallet without you needing to do anything else.
Okay, excellent. So let me ask you, as you get integrated more and more into the Algorand community, and as the community kind of embraces Alty, and you get your team's going to be at Decipher, you're going to get integrated here. Are you watching any other projects in the Algorand blockchain world? Do you personally have any other projects that you're kind of watching and in anticipation?
Sure. We already talked to Tiny Man, and
Mm-hmm.
we're starting also with YLDY. Those are the leading ones for us. We
Mm-hmm.
really want to bring in. One of the main utilities after tipping and engagement in groups is really to do something with your assets. So either to stake them again through the Alty wallet with maybe one command, you can
Mm-hmm.
stake or unstake or farm
Mm-hmm.
your USDC, USDT, the Algo token. We see a lot of utilities, and once those two projects are integrated into Alty or Alty integrated into them, there are a lot of possibilities also for the other assets. We can
Mm-hmm.
help them create liquidity and help them, make all those engagements in groups. That's something we want to do for eventually for Alty tokens that will probably come one day once the utility is there, probably early next year.
Excellent.
And then for the rest of the community to have the same
Okay.
thing.
Good. So I heard an early next year. So you're thinking maybe Q1, something along those lines?
Yeah, probably by then there will be enough use case. We didn't want to run ahead and do it the traditional way.
Mm-hmm.
We we worked under the radar now for 3 years. We're releasing all those utilities, features, and so out there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot going on the legal side to be ready, to support those type of operations.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Barbados, there is a lot of advancement to support us as a project and other projects like us. So it's a very good opportunity.
Great.
And once it's all ready, yeah, that's when it's going to happen. Probably early next year.
Okay, good. It's always amazing to me when I talk to folks, in your situation who've been working on something for literally years to make it come to fruition. But a lot of times, by the time you get to my audience, it might be the very first time that they've heard about you, or maybe they've seen one post. They're not really too familiar, and so for them, it still feels like a brand new experience. I hope that invigorates you, and it feels like it's all brand new for you as well. And it's hard as an entrepreneur to be motivated and realize like, hey, this is still brand new to so many people. We're all still so early in this thing. To all of the new folks who are just today getting introduced to Alty, what would be your primary message to them? What would be your ask to them, today?
From the users, members, you
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, Well, on the, we have community side and all the people that running their own projects.
Mm-hmm.
I would say try to follow something simple. I think there is a lot of simplicity missing for user adoption, and that's what we're trying to bring to our members. So we always tell them, or we always try to deliver that type of experience that all those complex or I would call them sophisticated action you can take over DeFi world or even NFTs that will come soon. We are there to make it simple for you. And if we didn't, let us know. And the good thing about those chatbots, it's very easy to skip to a human support or to give us a feedback,
Mm-hmm.
and we listen. That's
Yeah.
the thing we want to convey onward, that even our roadmap is basically built according to what the community wants and what the tools influencers are requiring.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that very often the best answer is the simplest answer. So in this case, I think that simplicity really is genius. one of the complaints about the overall cryptocurrency movement is that it's complicated. It's hard to get involved. It's hard to exchange. It's hard to remember your mnemonic phrase. It's hard to do all of these things. And that's a barrier to entry for a lot of folks. So when something like Alty comes along and turns what used to be a fairly complex process into something very easy, addresses that are easy to remember, easy to exchange, it's painless, easy to withdraw, easy to use, that reduces that barrier to entry, reduces the friction, and in the long term, I hope it picks up some massive adoption for you. So there you have it, folks. So if you run a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group out there, I would encourage you, go check out alty.com. You can download the chatbot. You can install it in your channel. Just try it out, folks, and see what happens. Check out the ease of use, and the team is approachable. You heard it right here. They're open to feedback. They want your feedback. So let's give them some adoption and make it easier to exchange funds. And in my opinion, Algorand and a lot of these ASAs, they're not really a currency until they're used for everyday use cases. So that number that I saw earlier, the 6 times an exchange, that number is important to me. I want to see folks using, whether or not it's an ASA or Algorand or any crypto for that matter, on a regular basis for everyday items. That to me means real true adoption. So again, thanks again to Alty for being